The 1 million retirement trap that I learned is holding you back from actually retiring, and also could actually help you retire if you follow this procedure step by step. You see, what I learned actually being in finance and running a financial firm for over 7 years is that everybody has this number in their head, which is $1 million. Like, if I could only have $1 million in my retirement, if I could only make $1 million, my life would change. And as somebody who's made over $1 million in one day, that is not true, okay? What you're gonna realize is that $1 million gets used up real quick if you don't know the right things to do. But I do have some good news for you though. If you follow everything I tell you in this video, you can probably retire and have that amount. With $500,000 in a retirement account or in cash, you can never work a day in your life. What do I mean? Great question. So most people talk about retirements and 401ks as a number you have to hit, where if you take 4% out of your account every single year, you're still able to live on. The problem is an article came out that if you're a millennial, that the new number you need to hit to retire comfortably and make about $70,000 a year is $3.5 million. So if you don't see a way based on how you're saving right now and what your 401k is right now, or what your investments is right now to get to $3.5 million, by the time you quote unquote retire, you're done for, okay? And I don't mean to scare you, but I want to make you aware of the realities of your situation. If you're not a millennial and you're a baby boomer, or you're older, or you're Gen X, or if you plan to retire in the next 10, 15 years, you're gonna need about $1.6 million in cash. That's the difference. So first of all, let's think about what I just said. If you're a millionaire right now, and you're retiring in 30 years, you need double the amount as somebody retiring in 15 years to have the same level of living, which is about $5,000 to $6,000 a month. So the thing that you need to account for is maybe Medicare expenses. Even though your mortgage might be gone, you still have property taxes, maintenance, insurance. These things add up. So what do you actually do? You need to understand the velocity of money. What is the velocity of money? The velocity of money is at what speed you're making money versus the rate you're spending it. That's literally all the 4% rule is. It's actually the velocity of money. But what if we could turn the velocity of money on its head, where instead of taking out 4% of our account, we're only taking out 2%, because we're making so much more money on our money than the market is the traditional way. You see, if you put your money in the 401k or the S&P 500, it takes about 7 to 10 years on average for your money to double once. But if you learned a simple trend trading system that you can literally spot in 10 minutes or less, you can literally double your money in 30 days or less. And on an average, my students are doing this actually in 7 days. Now, you're gonna say this is too good to be true, or here's another guy on the internet making stuff up. But I'm gonna put screenshots all across this so you can see the percentage returns that you're getting. And if you look at my Instagram page, I literally did a whole slideshow explaining the tax strategy of a billionaire, Peter Thiel, and how he used this system to actually avoid taxes. But what you need to know now is, how can I actually take this information and not be scared, but learn how to multiply my money? Great question. If you have about $500,000 in cash, you should actually be making somewhere between 10 and 20K a month. So you don't even need $1 million to retire comfortably if you know this. It's called cash secured puts. A cash secured puts is an options trading strategy that's relatively safe, that pretty much just says, if a stock doesn't drop below this amount, I'm willing to buy it. So for example, if Apple's at $200 a share, and you say in the next 30 days, if Apple doesn't drop to 150, I want you to pay me. Now, yes, there's risk in every trade, but that's pretty much foolproof. Unless there's a major economic disaster, Apple's not gonna drop 25%. And for the right to place that trade, you're gonna get paid 2 to 5% of the money you paid in that trade. So if you put $500,000 in that trade, 5% of that is literally $25,000. 2% of that is $10,000. So you can make $10,000 for literally doing nothing. And I know this seems like it might be too good to be true or too far-fetched, but the way billionaires are making money is that they're using strategies that the normal person thinks is unfair or doesn't even exist. It's like their own version of the snowman's bunny. Well, let me tell you, as somebody who's experienced it, it exists. I remember my very first trade in PLTR. I put about $15,000 to try this out, and I got a check of $1,100 within 3 minutes. And by check, I mean instant deposit into my account. And I know what you're thinking. Don't I have to wait the 30 days to get this money? No, the money's put into your account immediately. Oh, what if it doesn't hit the 150 target? That's good. You get to do it again next month, and the month after that, and the month after that. So no longer are you waiting 9, 10 years to double your money. You're literally doubling your money in 2 years in a relatively safe way. And if you want to be more aggressive, then you can learn the trend snap system and you can double your money in 7 days, like some of the students here, or making 5x on your money in 3 days, like Blessed did here. So it really is about information. That is the good news and the bad news. The bad news is $1 million is not what you think it is in a retirement account. Or if you're a millennial, you're gonna need 3.5 million. The good news is if you just have certain key pieces of information, if you just understand how to execute certain options trades, your financial life will change forever, and big on the ever. It really is something like my mentor said. He said that a lot of times we think we have an access problem or we have a limitation. That's not necessarily true. We just have an awareness problem. We don't know the opportunities that are around us. And if you just learn those opportunities, your life will change. I'll give you an example. Back in the 1970s, when people were slaves, the next level of evolution of knowledge for them was to become a sharecropper. As a sharecropper, they would share a piece of the profits with the owners. Now, granted, the conditions were still unfair, but that's what they were aware of. They didn't know that around the same time, you can invest in the stock market, or around the same time, you can buy real estate. So they were only acting based on the information they knew. Then now, everybody's talking about education, educate yourself, go to college, go to college. And that has become the main and new version of sharecropping, where you go to college, you pay $100,000 for them to teach you something, and if you do philosophy, oh my gosh, I'll pray for you, child, okay? You paid $100,000 to $200,000 for this fancy degree, and you're working for peanuts, while they're doing options trading, or buying and merging hedge funds, or buying businesses and doing roll-ups. You see, we need to change our awareness of the financial game. And if you learn how to do this, I'm telling you, your retirement will be smoother and easier than you thought. 10 minutes a week is all you need to manage these trades. And I did a quick video below for you to check it out if that's something you want to learn more about. And I'll catch you on the next one. Chat soon.